Hello, I'm Steve Dubin. I am the host of Susher Senior News' podcast, My Generation. On a regular basis, we bring in folks who work directly with the senior community and the sandwich generation who help them and encourage them to share with us what we should know about resources around us. And that being said, today's guest is Nicole Long. She is the CEO of Old Colony Elder Services, also known as OCES. She has been the CEO for 8 years and has a master's from Bridgewater State, has been in social services for a long time. And with that, I welcome you to the program, Nicole.
Thank you, Steve, for having me.
So let's start sort of at the beginning of this. Tell us about OCS in a very general sense.
All right. So at OCES, we cover Greater Plymouth County as well as Avon, Stoughton, and Easton. We have about 270 employees and over 800 volunteers that work together to provide a variety of essential information and services to keep older adults, individuals with disabilities at home and in the community as safe as possible for as long as possible.
Okay. And budget restraints. We're in an unusual time. How is that impacting your organization?
Yeah. Well, Steve, so at OCES, we do provide over 20 different services. We provide a lot of information and education, health and wellness classes, family caregiver support. But one of the programs that the majority of people know a lot about is the home care program. And the home care program is a program where we provide services such as personal care, home health aid, companion, meal preparation, and a variety of other services. We provide them in the home to keep people safe and in their home. This program alone, 1 out of every 3 home care consumers would otherwise be in a nursing home if they were not receiving the home care services that we provide. And I highlight that, Steve, because right now, for this fiscal year as well as next year, the government has really underfunded this program. And it's really an area where the Aging Service Access Network, which we are part of, spans the state. We're all really banding together to spread the word about the fact that this program that keeps people in their homes, out of nursing homes, is underfunded. And really, without the funding, it's going to jeopardize the number of people we can serve in our community. So it is a very scary time for us because we don't want to take away services or decrease the access to the services. So this is a big area for us right now.
And as a footnote, um, firstly, most people want to age in place and in the home that they are comfortable with and have lived for many years. But secondarily, the cost to the state, if the state has to cover that nursing home cost, would be approximately how much, even per month on average.
Oh, yeah. So right now, statistics show that for nursing home care, you're going to pay anywhere between $77,000 to $177,000 for nursing home care. Now, of course, that wide range varies if you're on Mass Health or if you're privately paying. But for our home care program, the average cost is about 3,200 to maybe 10,000, 10,500. So it's a substantial cost savings for our state, for the government, and it pays to keep people at home. It keeps them happy, safe, and healthy, and it's saving money on the other side of things. And
Yeah,
it's not just about the services, Steve. One of the components of home care is the individual is connected to a case manager and oftentimes a nurse So they have social workers and professional support to help guide them as they're aging, to help them understand not just the services, but the community resources that are also available. So it really is a very comprehensive approach to care, and it's very individualized. And I think that's what, all people want. They want to be at home, they want to be safe, and they want to know that their personal situation, that's what's driving the services and the needs.
Understood. And part of the reality is that a lot of people are turning, over 60 years old on a on a daily basis, and that leads to an increased demand for all services for seniors, in particular home care. What kind of I guess impact is that having on your organization, and what kind of numbers are you seeing?
Yeah. Well, as the need for services increase, the amount of money that we can draw from the state has to match that need. Just a few interesting stats. In calendar year 2023, approximately 65,000 people received home care services across the state of Massachusetts. And that number has gone up around 9% each year from there. So the utilization always grows. For OCES, our utilization in our service area of Greater Plymouth County has gone up 10% from last year to current. So the need is outweighing the available funds for services. And that really will have a negative impact because if we can't draw down the revenue to pay the providers, that will result in people having to go on wait lists to receive care. And it will also affect the amount of services that people are eligible to receive in their home if they don't have the ability to privately pay, which a lot of people don't.
Well, and so the state in the past has made a real effort to support those kinds of programs to keep people safe and in their homes.
Excellent.
How has OCS participated in developing a lot of those policies and programs?
There's been a lot of time and effort, and the state has invested a lot of funds into improving the healthcare system and the access to services in the home. So, for example, there was the hospital to home program, which OCES does participate in, as well as a number of the other ASAPs in the state. That's a program where our staff, case management, social workers, work directly with hospital staff to identify consumers that could use assistance in understanding their healthcare situation, but then we're able to put services in the home upon discharge. So that way the person doesn't go home and end up having a reoccurrence of whatever their original health situation is. It's a way for the network to really provide that support going from the hospital to home with services, which really does eliminate or reduce rehospitalization. So that's going to also save money on the hospital side of the system as well. And then there's a variety of other ways that we've worked to expand access to transition services. We have a community transition program where staff are in nursing homes and in rehabs working with people to transition out safely. Some of the people that we serve in that program have been in the hospital for a number of years, and they haven't returned back to the community because they don't have family and they're not aware of what supports they could rely on. These programs provide that education and provide the service. So it really has been fabulous because we have helped people safely transition home. But now that these programs are being utilized, which is great, the services that they need to remain independent and safe are at risk of being having reduced access. So I really, it's so much has been invested, and I would hate to see us lose that momentum and give up some of that, which is what is at stake right now.
Right. So I mean, we're at a critical flashpoint. You're working with a very vulnerable community. Um, People need to step up and voice their opinion and support what you do. How do they do that, both from sort of a political support standpoint as well as potentially financially?
Yeah. So from the advocacy lens, legislators want to hear from people in the community. They want to hear from caregivers who have relied on these services to keep their loved ones at home. And they want to hear from the individuals that are personally receiving the care. So I encourage anybody who is watching this, if you want to elevate your voice and be heard, you can let our staff at OCES know, and we can work with you to gather a testimony. You can write your local senator or your local representatives and let them know directly. Give them a call. All of their contact information is public. As an aging service access point, which again, Old Colony is, we work with a network called Mass Aging Access, and they have a fabulous website which is agingaccess.org. And it's fabulous. Right on their website, there's a link where you can click on it, and it's a form you just fill out, and it automatically shoots an email to your local representatives to alert them of the home care line items that are at risk right now. And again, reaching out to my agency, Old Colony, at ocesma.org is another way you can get in contact and figure out how to help more. Our email address is up there, and our phone number is 508-584-1561.
Okay, and so you're asking people to voice their opinion, and they can also provide financial donations as well to, specifically support your programs.
Absolutely. We make donating very easy for people who are interested and able to do that. You can mail Old Colony Elder Services a check. You can go to our website. We have a donate platform right there. And it's very easy, and every little bit helps. It really does. There's no donation too small. It all goes right back to our consumers. And I do think our website very clearly spells out which programs and services you're making an impact on. But again, we have staff that are available to talk through the process as well.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I look forward to sharing this with our audience,
Thank you.
and I appreciate your time today.
Absolutely. Thank you.